How are you doing? All right. So obviously my name is Sukina. I come from London. So look, I've got these new glasses. I went to the opticians for eye test and I left with these glasses. It's the first time I'm performing with them. So what do you think? Should I wear them or? I don't really need to wear them, to be honest. It's a bit like, it's like half need and half style. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say big respect and love to all the artists that stood on this stage so far. It's been amazing. Even the ones that I didn't understand, I could feel. So please give a round of applause to everyone. So much love to the organisers and this whole festival that's been happening. I think it's so important, so I'm really honoured, really happy to be here. I'm going to do a few poems. I hope you like them. The first one is called I Carry, and it's kind of self-explanatory, so I hope you like it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I carry the legacy of those casualties who've lost the faculty to fathom what it means to be free. I carry the weight, like mothers dashing desperately across borders, becoming refugees with their blessed seed tied to their backs, under attack, from bombs dropped, limbs hacked, or devils on horseback. I inhale the scent of mutilated corpses tossed in a mass grave. I am a slave, awaiting Emancipation Day. I'm a believer, preparing my soul for Judgment Day. I am a wife of a prisoner in Guantanamo Bay, fighting for his freedom till my dying day. You see, he's innocent, irregardless of what they try and say. I'm Betty Shabazz with Malcolm X dying on my knees, watching his life force slowly deplete, knowing soon I'll be left alone to raise my seed. Their father martyred for the cause just so we could be free. Their father martyred for the cause just so I could be free. The tears of war widows roll down my cheek, and when another bomb drops, that could be me wrapped in a white sheet. I'm an Iranian woman marching for equality. I'd rather die standing up than live on my knees, and it seems they didn't get the memo that my soul was born free. And it seems they did not get the memo that my soul was born free. These whispers drift so melancholy and keep me from sleeping. Innocent bloodshed keep these tears streaming. My heart is still bleeding. My art is still seeking a reason for being. The drums are still beating. And rape is still being used as a weapon of war, invading what's pure, those parading in Darfur. And in Iraq, we still don't know what they're actually fighting for. And in Afghanistan, we still don't know what they're actually fighting for. And in Syria, we still don't know what they're actually fighting for. For sure. We need a new beginning, because poor Palestinian women are harassed at checkpoints, watching soldiers pop holes in their husbands' pressure points, castrating our men beyond their loins. Others lose their joints. Some mothers are held at gunpoint by sons turned rebel soldiers high off a crack joint. It's like we're losing the plot and missing the point. Lyricist/activist is my vision and viewpoint. The ink in my ballpoint turns from blue to red. I write with the blood of the shuhada so they can use my breath to sing freedom lullabies to those who sleep in warm beds, and their pleas can be heard through me beyond death. The sun sets, smoke and mist drift over the Sea of Galilee. Gaza is burning. Yeah, the whole world is burning, but we suffer the tragedy of apathy. No time even for sympathy. We flip news channels so casually because we don't have the faculty for give a damn mentality. We prefer the fallacy of fantasy to the morning light we call reality. But you'll see me, hijab tied tight, black glove, fist raised high, chanting the war cry. No justice, no peace. We say no justice, no peace until the day I lose life. Evident in the words I recite and the fire in my eyes, and on the day we all rise. I pray those treated like parasites will be raised in garments of pure light, inshallah. Those innocent victims of war in Iraq, Afghanistan, Sierra Leone, Palestine, Congo, London, Sudan will be raised in gardens wearing garments of pure light. Thank you. This next poem I'm going to do is actually the first time I'm reading it. And it was written after I was watching a video of some of my friends who had come back from Gore Island. Does anyone know where Gore Island is or what it is? Senegal, exactly. And it's, I guess it's an island where they housed slaves before they were I'm not going to say slaves, it was an island where they housed stolen and kidnapped Africans before they were sent to America to be slaves, basically. Because it's really important that we reframe the words that we use. You know, like they're not slaves inherently, they were stolen and forced into slavery. So anyway, I've lived in Senegal, I spend a lot of time there, but I've never been to this island. I think I'm not ready yet to go. But some of my friends went there and they posted a video of them returning from this island, and they were all heavily touched. And so they started to just sing, like just words initially, and then it kind of became a song. And it really inspired me. So I wrote this poem. It's called Oceans and Ancestors. Bismillah. My ancestors lie in graves made of water. My ancestors lie in graves made of water. My ancestors lie in graves made of water. No funeral prayers were said. No holy man prayed for the dead. No flowers were cast upon coffins. No family mourned at the graveside, holding each other tight. No condolences, no words, just water. My ancestors lie in graves made of water. Has anyone said a prayer for the unnamed yet? Prayed over their mass grave yet? Released their spirits from the ocean bed so they can fly toward the stars instead of witnessing the heavenly glow from beneath the water? The galaxies seem to dance mockingly to those locked to the bottom of the sea spiritually. Or maybe they are at home there, after centuries of existing in liquid, their flesh living forever on the seafloor, their breath in the crashing waves that rush upon the seashore so urgently, like messengers from beyond the grave with a secret to share with the living. Ancestors of mine, what would you like to say? Because I am listening with my everything. I wonder how it feels to die that way. No ashes to ashes, no dust to dust. Imagine the Atlantic is a cemetery for ancient African blood that seeped into the sea, dancing elegantly as it left the bodies of warriors who refused to be slaves and surrendered to those with the devil in their eyes, wielding whips that lashed their black gold skin, punished for no actual sin. Imagine my ancestors lie in graves made of water. I wonder if they tried to swim when their bodies cracked against the ocean's limbs, or if they surrendered to the majesty of the water. Maybe they saw home in the distance, their village, their tribe, their mother's lagoon-like eyes, silently saying, "Fear not, my child." Maybe they reached out their hands to touch all of the above, the type of mirages that appear when you are drowning. Maybe they saw their ancestors walking on water, with outstretched arms here to take them home to an Africa in the spirit realm, with drums that play themselves. The sky is always orange there, and children dance but their feet don't touch the ground, under a baobab tree that glistens with light from heaven. I wonder if they knew they would die when they jumped overboard, or if they thought the sea was a portal to the sky. Maybe they saw something our eyes couldn't. Maybe they heard a melody that other wounded comrades didn't. Maybe they were not jumping. Maybe they were flying toward heaven because they saw the face of God in the water. Thank you. I'm going to do a poem. So, like, with the theme of womanism or woman, is it called womanism or womanist today? Womanists. I think about, it's interesting that term actually, because my best friend is studying women's studies, and we talk a lot about feminism and what does it mean, and are we represented as black women, as black Muslim women, like where do we fit in? And we're always like, man, we don't really like that word feminist, but we're like, if we could choose a word, we'd use the word womanist. So when I saw this, I was like, all right. And I mean, I don't know what it means to you, or I don't know what it means as in a kind of concept of theory, but I think to me it represents the wholeness of what it means to be a woman. And without theory, without jargon, without anyone's conditions on what it means, I think I find it to be a very personal term. And one of the things I think, when I think about what it means to be a woman, is spirituality and faith. And so this poem is really about my relationship to my faith tradition and what it means to be a woman of faith living in a city, living in concrete, basically. My family come from Jamaica originally, so when you come from the islands, it's just so beautiful, and it's easy to be spiritual when the sun is always on your face, but when you live in the concrete jungle, it can be difficult. So this poem is really about that pursuit of faith as a woman of God living in a city, so hope you like it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is not a poem, more of a dedication to the patient, ones who seek God's face in the city, those who wait to catch the sunrise, even if only into grey skies, because it reminds them of the majesty of their Lord. Those who seek the sun's decline behind graffiti pattern railway lines, praying for orange and red light to paint blast the sky, because they realize if you look close enough, God always sends us signs. Even when street lamps dull the stars in the sky, they try. Even though high-rise buildings barricade the skyline, they try. See, we are not the ones with desert nights, where the full moon gives enough light to read scriptures by bedsides. We are the ones who can't make it out to Mauritania or Yemen to sit at the feet of the enlightened, who teach the mysteries of Allah with the subtleties of silence, whose very fragrance is guidance for the now guided seeker who now sleeps in sacred villages where London becomes a dirty nightmare he'd rather forget. No street fights, no police sirens, no force-racked children, no people trying to earn a living on broken pavements to pay rent. This is for those who seek Mustafa, the chosen one, in the land of the frozen sun, where we need machines that blow heat to help us sleep. But each night here, there are those who dream of the unseen and catch a gleam of his reality, waking up in tower blocks with the unwavering conviction that there is a God. This is for those who seek Allah in the city, looking for light in a land of dark days and dark nights, tense hearts and bitter minds, to those who still seek the light in people's eyes, because they know we are all a manifestation of God's signs and everyone is reaching for him even if they don't realize. This is for those who seek Allah in the city. Thank you. Okay, so my last poem is a poem called Black Girl Twirl. And it's a poem that I wrote for a play that I'm part of called Malcolm X, that was produced by the Caviar Theatre. Has anyone here seen Malcolm X? Yeah. Yay! One person. So if you do get a chance to watch it, it's actually an incredible play. It's actually been touring since 2016, and we start again in October. So if you're able to see it, it's just a remarkable piece of revolutionary theatre. And so this is my poem from the play. The most dangerous words to have ever been uttered to women who grace the face of this earth is that your existence is a curse. Your presence drenched with the stench of insignificance, such fatal words. It's even worse if the sun has a thing for the skin that you're in. Black, brown, gold and glistening becomes a prison you are living in. Your worth lessens as you increase in melanin. Exoticized and denigrated, characteristics exaggerated, culture appropriated, you are paraded like a savage until your blackness becomes high fashion. Vogue magazine, Kim Kardashian, next season exploitation of Africans on the runway until they find another culture to play with. My culture ain't nothing to play with. It's even worse. If you're a woman who frequents the mosque or church, synagogue or nature reserve in search of God, in search of the sacred, backwards and unintelligent is a brush you are painted with, in contrast to the construct of white male atheist, a black female who has tasted the greatness of God is seen as the bottom tip of an inverted pyramid, one step lower and she ceases to exist. But we resist. We resist. You thought you pushed us down. We planted our seeds in the ground and flipped it. Came back with black girl magic, black orchids, black roses, black tulips, black daisies. I raised me. From the pits of your dark dream where you enslaved me. Memories from ancient mothers and melodies from the unseen came to remind me not just to seek divinity, but be divinity. Wear the galaxy like a gown to guard your modesty and dance like the universe in ecstasy and twirl. Twirl for the black girls taught to hate their kinky curls. Twirl for the indigenous women ripped from the earth, we twirl. For those who stand on street corners to survive, we twirl. For those who sacrifice their own to bring forth new life, we are the black of the universe before the creation of light. We are black like the kiswa that covers the Kaaba, stitched with scriptures in gold like the calligraphy etched on my soul. Our souls are more elegant than 1,000 butterflies in flight. Newly emerged from the blacks of their cocoons, we are women in tune with the new moon, full moon, orange moon, blood moon. Our time will come soon. You just have to remember your tune. You just have to remember you. There is no life here without you. No one enters this earthly realm without living in a lagoon in your womb. This womb, round like the sun at high noon, the angels blue. My Lord knew the best place to house a new soul was inside of you. Prophets and paupers, baptized in these sacred waters between heaven and earth. You are a portal, eternity, embedded in a mortal. We are beautiful and awful, extraordinary, cloaked in normal. The revolution will start when we activate the heart. We are Rosa Parks and Joan of Arc. We are Empress Menin and Tawakkul Carmen of Yemen. We are Rabia al-Adawiya, Queen Nzingi, Winnie Mandela and Saint Teresa of Avila. We are Betty Shabazz, wife of X. We are Amina, Muhammad. We are Khadija, Zawjatun Muhammad. We are Fatima binti Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Feminine face of her father. We are the women Sahaba, women of the Sahara and of the Savannah, women of the townships and of the seas, women of the islands and of the cities. We are women in charge of our own destinies. The ropes around our tongues will only become undone when we cut them. Then we will twirl through the battle scars, labor pain and broken hearts. Twirl to give birth to a new earth before we are devoured. Twirl until the final hour. Twirl like the moon cycles. Twirl because we are our last chance for survival. My sisters, we must twirl, we must twirl, we must twirl. Thank you.